Hey RogueTech fans, it's Blaine here again. Today I've got my first Flashpoint to show you. What I've decided to do this season is to try and record, I don't know if in full yet because some of them are quite long, but at least something to do with each of the Flashpoints that unlocks various content. I would love to have them in a specific order, but that's not so easy. So anyway, we're going to start today with the Erie. Now for everyone, this is a Clan Jade Falcon Loyalty Flashpoint. Now, a Loyalty Flashpoint is only available when you're currently allied with that faction. The good news is that all Loyalty Flashpoints have a high weighting, so they have a very good chance of appearing compared to any other random Flashpoint. This one in particular has a couple of unlocks. It unlocks the Phoenix Hawk PHX-C, a 50-ton clan version of the Phoenix Hawk-LAM, and more importantly, it unlocks the Phoenix Hawk-IIC-LAM. One of the 90-ton lambs, in particular the 2 variant. So let's get started and see where we go from here. I'll just go through these bit by bit so you have a chance to actually read the content if you want to. If you don't and you don't want spoilers, skip ahead. So anyway, we're working with a special research and design project that the Jade Falcons have got. Any guess? Yep, it's lambs. During this mission we'll be given our own like rentals to use, so it'll be nothing to risk of our own apart from the pilots. So at some point we'll be getting to the end of all their blurb. Hopefully I'm giving you enough time to quickly read through it if you want to. The actual Flashpoint itself is split into a number of different missions where we get to test the lambs in different environments. So here we go. As you can see, the Erie is rated as an 8 difficulty, so 4 green skull Flashpoint. I tend to always go for maximum salvage rather than payment. I mean, you can get reasonable pay from it, but, you know, salvage sells. So as you can see, what we've been given for this mission are 4 Phoenix Hawk-LAM-Cs. You also get one of these as a reward when you finish the entire Flashpoint chain. I'm going to put my best pilots in because, well, it makes it easier, doesn't it? And some of these guys are also previously experienced with Phoenix Hawk, so they'll be able to just use these straight away. Which I won't have Wraith. I think we will have Harkonnen instead. So there we go. As you can see, some of my pilots, like Ether, is already Phoenix Hawk trained, as is Jamie, and I think so is Oddball. Whereas Harkonnen hasn't really used a Phoenix Hawk yet, but it doesn't matter all that much. So it's time to deploy and see what we're up against. We've got a polar mission. It's a recovery mission, so this will be getting hold of whatever we're after. I should have probably read that at the start. And then extracting or destroying everything in the mission.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
I love that they've added that bit back in. It brings back my memories of the likes of Mech 4 Mercs and things like that. Absolutely awesome. So here we go. We're dropping now with our 4 Phoenix Hawks. So as you can see, we've got to go into that base. We've got to go and pick something up, and then we've got to extract over there. Now all 4 of these lambs are actually pretty quick, so I could actually just rush in, take it and fly away again. As far as the lambs themselves go, they each come with 3 medium improved heavy lasers and an IATM-6 with Inferno, high anti-explosive ammo. Each of these lambs also has image enhancing, so obviously if you've got pilots like these guys that have got a neural interface, they can make full use of that. So, let's get them taken off. As I said, they're nice and fast, so I think all we'll do, we're going to just go straight in and then straight out. Okay, I probably shouldn't have taken maximum salvage for a mission like this, but you know, it'll be fine. You'll notice each of these LAMs also has a built-in LAM Endo TSM. This increases their maximum carry capacity, which is great if you want to be able to carry, say, extra Vulcans or Hellfires. And it is able to be taken off of these, so you can always take it off the mech that you pick up and then put it on something else. I mean, up against us for this mission, we've just got, so far, what we've got an archer, and is that another? That's not an archer, which is that one? Can't tell at this stage, but we'll find out soon enough.
Why don't you dig? How beautiful it is out here.
All of these pilots are generating plenty of pips, which is something that's absolutely vital for LAMs. Basically, a LAM that doesn't move is a dead LAM, because they're fairly squishy compared to most mechs. So you want to keep those pips high, and you want to be able to ideally backstab anything you come up against.
Aye, aye.
Okay, first real turn is about to start now that we've had that turn. So what we can do, we could go.
I've got your back.
We could go and attack these guys and probably take them out quite quickly, or we could just go and pick up the stuff. I think we'll just grab it and maybe kill a few while we're also doing that. I'm going to dive in there straight away to be able to pick that up there. I've also, on all of my LAMs, I've got a Phantom, which if you saw one of my other tutorials, this is another one of my favourites. This basically gives them a really big ECM boost and makes them much harder to see. So I'm going to activate that now so that if I do get shot back, it's not going to hurt too much. There we go, we hit that archer in the back. Ooh, broken straight through to the structure there.
As a lesson. How can I help?
So while we've got Jamie picking up the loot, we're going to go in with the others, and again we'll put on Phantom. Let's see if we can take out the archer first. So round the back we go. I could do aim shots, but I don't have the gear. Well, actually, it's not too bad, is it? It's exactly the same whether I do an offensive push or not. So I may as well do an offensive push. And oh, we've only taken out the two sides, which is a bit frustrating. So let's finish off taking out one of the sides.
Here we go.
There we go. Blown his arm off. A lot less weaponry against us.
Critical hit, lad. Waiting on you, Commander.
Same with Ether, we'll put on Phantom. And because that one's already quite badly damaged, I think we're going to switch to the other target here.
Pedal to the metal.
We got a slight increase in accuracy there by using offensive push, so we'll take the Warhammer down, try and core it from the behind, straight through to the structure again.
Why don't you dig? How beautiful it is out here.
Now, unfortunately, we don't have any more offensive pushes to use, which would be really nice at this point. But I reckon we can still take down
Tanks
the
are faster than any
Warhammer
other tanks
if we
in
get a
theater
lucky
of
hit in the
operation.
centre.
Forwards or backwards. Have a little faith, Truck. Ain't that beautiful?
There he goes. One of the mechs down.
Still up?
Salvage.
No, it ain't.
Okay, over at the side here we've got an Ostrock and we've got a Vindicator. We could always go and tidy those up afterwards, or we can just flee straight to the extraction point. Okay, the poor old broken archers are going to attempt to shoot me and can't because I've got 8 pips and he's knackered, so not a chance, mate.
Have the asset, Commander. I hear
Okay, each one of these mechs, as you know, it's got image enhancing, so we can actually shoot and then run. So I think given that we're actually facing a really badly damaged mech, and we could just go over there, or we can go and kill these guys. Oh, what do you reckon? I'm going to have to kill him. I'm sorry. I can't leave mechs alive when they're on the table. Let's take the Ostrock down. I mean, these PHX-Cs are lovely.
Yeah,
Those heavy lasers, we're in a nice cold environment. You couldn't ask for more, really. So again, another one up behind the Ostrock and we'll blow him apart. There he goes.
Battle mech down. How can I help?
I think we will use... Harkonnen to finish off the archer up here. So he's not going to move very far, but it should be fine because I don't expect this archer to survive this.
Roger.
Of course, one risk when you... Oh, he survived, of course he did, now I said that.
Punch right through his armor.
One risk when you actually go and core a mech from behind is that they could stack pole on you, which is when their reactor goes critical. And you get a huge wave of heat coming out at you. Thankfully that didn't happen.
Kelly, a tiger has only one weak point.
We'll just
That's
drop
its
behind the
ass.
Ostrov.
You gotta
Sorry,
hit
the
it point
Vindicator.
blank, and you've got to hit it from behind.
Let's have a look. 64s without offensive push. Same with, we'll just go offensive push straight into the centre of the Vindicator.
Maybe.
Ooh, he's straight through to structure, but not down. Next turn they'll both be down. Now Phantom, of course, lasts for 2 turns, so all of my mechs are still really hard to hit. As you can see, we're not exactly taking a lot of damage apart from the AOE. Oh, apart from the AOE. Can't dodge that.
What can I do for you?
But what we can do is take him down now. Got a bit of heat generation from that Inferno explosion, but
All weapons,
it's not too important.
go. Another hit like that, and you're toast. Talk to me.
Okay, Jamie, who's currently carrying the
Affirmative.
loot, or whatever it was we were supposed to be taking. I really should pay attention to these missions.
Copy.
There you go, he's taking down the Vindicator.
Oh, what a waste.
Ooh, the old Archers gets one more turn before he dies. Now you notice, Phantom is now currently offline. So if we look at Harkonnen, we've still got one more turn before it cools down. So this is the only turn that you'd be more at risk with a LAM. If I was playing against a tougher force, I would have moved my LAMs away, I would have hidden them behind terrain, and then come back in on the next turn when I got Phantom active again.
Confirmed.
But that doesn't matter all that much. So there goes the final one, the Archer's now down, and that should be the end of the mission.
There's work to do.
Mission successful.
There we go, so that's the mission 1 is over very quickly, as these guys are great. I did actually do this the last time on our very hot world, and because of all their lasers, they do overheat a little bit. But we're on ice world this time, so yeah, can't complain there. I barely took any damage, but not that it matters because they're all loners. But while we're here, you can have a quick look through the content, the gear that's actually with these. They've all got Royal heatsink kits as well, so yeah, they're quite nice little units. So let's see what we pick up. You notice I've got 3 parts. This is because for this current campaign I've decided to just basically rush through so that I can get as many things recorded for you guys as possible. Normally I would go with 5 parts, but hey, this is easy, it's quick, so I'm happy with that. We got a fair amount of stuff, but the problem with coring from behind is that you do tend to destroy a lot of things like the engines and the other central CT parts. So anyway, we'll just fill up our salvage, confirm the rest. As you can see, we just picked up everything, so we'll just sell off everything we don't need, which is pretty much all of it. And then we can go and move on to the second mission. Okay, we're moving on to the second part of the Erie, so the Erie 2. This time we've got a target acquisition mission. So it'll be 3 beacons to place, and then something gets to blow up the base. Probably a, I don't know, a naval PPC or something from orbit. Once again, we're going to be given 4 of the Phoenix Hawk LAMs, exactly the same as we saw in the last mission. We're now in lowlands, so the heat isn't going to be quite as efficient as it was last time. I've given my pilots time to recover. It's not one of those flashpoints that you've got immediate deployments one after the other, so that's always quite useful. Okay, we're locked and loaded. Let's go and drop.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, here we go. Target acquisition missions are all about speed. You've got a limited number of turns in order to place 3 beacons so that the thing can be blown up. Then you've got to wait a turn, and you've got to reach your extraction point. That's pretty much all it is. There's no requirement to kill everything within the mission, but hey, sometimes I quite like doing that. although you do often find quite a few units against you. So I think what I will probably do is actually go in, maybe kill a couple, and then get out of there. So let's see what we're up against. Again, we've been given a free turn, which is always nice. It's a bit of a pain when you actually arrive and you can't actually do much because you end up straight away in combat. The other thing with target acquisition missions, where it's to destroy the base, as soon as one of your units lands on one of these target zones, you're going to get reinforcements, some sort of motor pool. Now, if you've completed a certain red alert based flashpoint, you could even end up with a 300-ton blimp coming out from the motor pool at you. And not just the one, they can keep on coming. But we'll get to that one later on. It's another unlockable flashpoint I hope to show you all. So my plan is not to actually land on any of these target zones until we can do all three in the same turn.
I'm moving.
At the moment I don't see a huge number of enemies. We've got a couple in close over here, and we've got another group that are going to come and cause me trouble over at the side, but we shouldn't have to involve ourselves too much with them.
Copy that.
Next turn I will of course put the Phantom on so that all four of my mechs are better protected. I think seeing as we've got the two units over here, I'll send these two towards these two target zones, and I'll send Oddball with Ether over towards this one here. I always do that. Get a bit quick at clicking before it's finished calculating the LAM's route. Okay, so all four of our LAMs are in play. We're now about to start seeing the enemy properly as we go into the first full turn. That's not so bad. 1 point of damage. We can live with that.
That was sloppy, lad.
Okay, what I would normally do, if there's any other units still to take their turn, which as you can see there are, and I've got 3 of my units that could take their turn, I go straight in and I put Phantom active on all of them. You can do this without actually completing your turn, so now I can come back to any of these. They've all got Phantom active, which gives them a lot of protection, except Oddball, because he's a little bit slower, but then, you know, he's a bit odd. So first of all, I'm going to just check. I can easily reach that target zone over here if I was to use Ether, and I'm pretty sure if I was to use Jamie, he can reach the one at the back. Let's have a look. Yep. So there we go. I can definitely land on all 4 target zones. I'm going to take Jamie in first behind here so he can take out the Cicada that's already moved.
Accelerating to...
As soon as we've landed on one of the zones, it immediately goes and alerts you, well, alerts their units that we're trying to do something. So it's 35% accuracy if I just fire, 38 if we go for an attempted core with an offensive push. Let's do it.
Roger that.
Boom! There goes the Cicada. I'm saying you've got to love these guys. Those 3 heavily improved lasers, if you get them all centered on one target, it's like boom and they're down. Okay, so we're going to take Ether right over here. Oops. So we'll still have 10 evasive pips. So over we go. Let's see what we've got over this side of the board. We've got a Summoner and we've got a Griffin. To be fair, I doubt I'm going to bother taking either of these down, but we'll just sort of hit the Griffin for now.
This should be good.
Or miss the Griffin. Well played, Ether.
I've got your back.
Now the problem I'm going to have is I've got to get onto this one here, and I don't have that much movement. If I just do a movement, I'm only going to have 3 pips. So the other option I could do is I could do... I think what I'm going to do, I don't often do this, but I'm going to land Harkonnen. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I can still go and jump in, but I can then make use of some of the cover that's here. So if I land here, I'm immediately not visible from that side. Oh no, I am. Yeah, I'm still going to jump in because it gives me better protection than if I was in the air. I've got 4 rather than 3 pips, and I can be fully braced with the trees helping me out. I've got some concerns that Harkonnen may be shot at, but we'll see what happens. Of course, he does still have Phantoms, so that's going to help him, but he is a little bit sort of at risk there with only 4 pips. As you can see, good old Ether was able to completely avoid the attack from the Summoner, and now we're able to use Oddball, who hasn't yet used Phantom, so we'll put that in play.
We are holding ourselves in reserve.
Now here we've got a Raptor. I think I will go all the way up the top here. Obviously I don't want to stand here when they start blowing it apart, but for now it's a great opportunity to get some extra height on the Raptor. The higher you are, the more accurate it is. So again, we're going to try an offensive push straight into the Raptor's central core. Only 1 hit, that's a shame. Okay, time for the enemy mechs to take their turn and attempt to shoot me. Let's see what we've got. We've got 4 over here. We've got the Phoenix Hawk that we just saw, Grand Summoner, the Conquistador. Oh, that's the one that's got the built-in repair system. They're lovely mechs to use. It's basically a form of hard gel, but it's actually built into the mech itself. And yeah, the Conquistadors, you can keep shooting them and they just keep repairing. They also look lovely, to be fair. So they're trying to shoot Jamie, but with 11 pips, and at that distance, not a hope. And a Grasshopper, so that's the last one. I noticed there is also a battle armor on board one of these mechs, but we're going to ignore them for now. So there we go, we've now gone and targeted the building. So at this point you can see we've got smoke coming up where we've gone and put in our 3 beacons. We now have a couple of turns before it goes and hits. And as I said, yep, subterranean motor pool, who knows what they're giving us. Apparently we're getting a Bola E and a Dragon. It's unfortunately not one of the dragons that I really want, which are the ones from Kurita, because they're the ones that have got the prototype plus heatsink kit. Well worth looking for. So yeah, go and kill all the Kuritans. Anyway, what we can do, we can now see that this is where we're going to have to evac to. But we've still got 2 turns before it actually hits. So we've got a little bit of time to get ourselves some more salvage. I'm thinking if I go... I've still got Phantom, of course, for another turn, so I'm still fairly safe. I would quite like to go right behind him and take out the Griffin, I think. Can we get 8 movement pips and still shoot the Griffin? No. Okay, we're going to settle for 7 pips here on Ether.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've gone and moved too far, haven't I? Oh, so dumb. Right, let's take out the Summoner instead.
Firing everything I've got.
There you go, Summoner down. In 1 round from a 50-tonner. Not bad, eh?
Talk to me.
Okay, we're going to get Harkonnen airborne again so that he can get his pips back up and get out of here. There we go, there's the Dragon, and there's the Bola that's come out as well, but we're going to ignore those because we're not really interested, are we? Let's go and see if we can get Harkonnen to take down the Griffin. Just waiting for the calculations for movement to come in. That's better, I'm actually right behind him if I place him there. Let's go.
Roger that.
Again, I think we use an offensive push straight into the rear core of this Griffin.
Aye, aye.
Ooh, he took a crit, but didn't go down, not
Take
yet.
that as a lesson. How can I help?
Jamie can come on over and help as well. As you can see, we've got all of this zone here is now marked for destruction, so if anything's within this area when it goes off, it's going to be blown to pieces. I'm actually kind of hoping that at least one of these guys here is going to move into this area and then get nuked when the artillery hits.
Sprinting.
I'm going to take off one of these large lasers because he was overheating a little bit. I don't want him to lose movement. There we go, Griffin's down.
What a waste.
We're now moving well away from most of the enemy, so I doubt they'll hit us. Something else that's worth bearing in mind, don't place all of your units in the extraction zone before the extraction zone is shown. There is a strange little bug that means that sometimes if you have them all placed around this area, when the extraction zone comes, you end up with the dropship killing all of your units, so don't do it. Just
Tanks
wait.
are faster than any other tanks in theater of operations. Forwards or backwards.
So we've still got a couple of turns until this hits, and now it's the enemy's turn to move. Let's see what the Op4 can do. Probably not a lot. We've got a lot of pips. We're kind of hidden from their view mostly, so I think we're safe. Oh, I spoke too soon. Poor old Harkon's just taken a hit, but not too much damage, just 37 points. There you go, bit of friendly fire for the Phoenix Hawk up at the back. You find actually when you're using lambs, it's not uncommon for enemies to shoot each other because you've got such high pips. They're going to be inaccurate. If you can get in between their line of sight and one of their own friends in between you, they will quite often take hits. Okay, so we're just one turn away now from the artillery coming in. So as I was saying, what we don't want is to place everyone here. So I'm going to move. I will actually move most of them over here for now because, hey, why not? Actually, no, I'm going to, yeah, I'll just place him, Jamie, here.
Confirmed.
Of course, we're now currently out of Phantom, so we have to be a little bit more careful.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I'm going to place Ether outside of the zone,
Coordinates received.
so that we ensure that we don't get killed by our own dropship when it lands.
Talk to me.
And we'll get Harkonnen a bit further away as well, so that he's got a few more pips, because he's taking a little bit of damage. We don't want him to be accidentally destroyed. Okay, last chance for the Op4 to try and stop me. I don't rate their hopes very highly. Okay, they're giving it a good shot, the bowler.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
And we'll just take Oddballer over to here as well, because
Calms
he's
us
got to have
down.
some pips. I don't want to leave him sitting there without any for the next turn. Of course, we've got to go and watch and see what happens when the artillery strike comes in, but unfortunately it doesn't look as though any of the Op4 have actually gone and moved on top of the base, which is such a shame. Okay, that's it, here it goes. Boom! Love it. You can't beat a great big explosion in the game. Okay, so that's our target now done. As you'll see, we now have an extraction zone over here, so we just have to get all of our mechs into it. Nice and easy. I'm going to just land them and jump in, because then they're at least braced and sitting there on higher pips and protected, just in case I don't get them all in before they start shooting back.
How can I help?
This is the thing a lot of people forget, is that lambs are actually pretty good at just jumping anyway. And I do tend to, if I'm using a melee lamb, I will often land it actually to go and hit someone, if I can actually make take advantage of trees and things like that. Because you may as well give yourself all the protection you can. If I was in the air just then, I wouldn't have had 40% damage reduction. I would have only had 20.
Talk to me.
I think we'll skip Jamie because he's already got 7 pips, and we'll just wait for
Holding
Oddball to be
action.
able to move in.
No chance, man. No,
And
they
here comes
both had
Oddball.
it. One of them's
I
in
won't
the
bother
river, the
landing
other
him
one's on the other
because
side, burning.
that's extraction. We're done. We've picked up some salvage. We've shown that these Phoenix Hawks are great at doing a target acquisition mission. And
Mission successful.
that's number 2 done. We've just got one more mission to complete in this Erie chain to have completed the Flashpoint. Okay, we're going to just skip straight through to salvage, because I know you all want to get straight... I'll just accept it, I don't care. I don't really need any of the stuff, but they're not really giving me anything of great value there anyway. Oh, okay, they're giving me lots of stacks of VR PPCs. Can't complain about that. 8 BC track-ins? I don't think I'll ever need any more of those. And finish that off, and let's sell everything we don't need. I really don't need 10 ER PPCs. I think we'll just keep 5. I've already got 7 of those, so I'll sell them anyway. Okay. 10 FCS energy accuracy. I'm never going to make that many mechs with it, but hey, we'll keep them for now. Okay, so that's the end of that mission. Now moving on to the third. Okay, so we're moving into Test Pilot 3. We now have a little bit more dialogue to go through. I might be wrong, there might have only been 2. You know, it's been a long time since I completed this last. And yep, I think that's it. I think we have now completed Erie, so it's just a 2-part mission, not a 3. My bad. So anyway, at the end, you're given one of the Phoenix Hawks you've just been using, and a bunch of other little pieces that might or might not be useful. You'll notice that Jade Falcon are a stingy lot. 0 payout. I mean, come on, lads.
That mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
Right, before we finish, we'll just go and have a quick look at the Phoenix Hawk so you can see what it is we've picked up.
Hey, Commander. Be with you in a second.
So here it is. This is the build of the PHX-IIC-LAM-II. It's actually one of the best stock build mechs you can see. I mean, you saw how effective it was on the battlefield just then. It was able to rush around fast, core things. Has a little bit lower armour than I would like for a LAM, given how flimsy they are at the best of times. But there you go. One lovely little mech to join my squad. So, I hope you've all enjoyed this first Flashpoint, and hopefully I'll be bringing you some more as I find them. It just depends what turns up really as to which one you get next. So, if you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.